Hello, I'm Bill Cochran, and I'm the Business Manager for Skill Resource Center. As the Business Manager for Skill Resource Center, I'm responsible for the accounts receivable, accounts payable, as well as the Skill Incorporated Fiscal Agent, which is one of the programs that Skill operates. At any given point, Skill may be operating as many as 25 different programs within the state of Kansas. We're a Center for Independent Living, a nonprofit organization. We're not a governmental entity. At the heart of our organization, we are a Center for Independent Living. And being a Center for Independent Living has certain functions and requirements that make it possible for us to be that. Skill became a Center for Independent Living in 1992 when it received its first grant from the state of Kansas. Then in 1995 it received some additional funding. So Skill is recognized at the state and federal level as a Center for Independent Living. That funding makes it possible for Skill to have about 5 personnel work within the state of Kansas. So while it may be a small portion in funding of what we do, it is one of the most significant things we do in the way of structure. It identifies who we are and what we do. So, Skill is not a governmental entity, but rather Skill is a not-for-profit organization. We work within the state of Kansas as a Center for Independent Living. In addition to the state and federal grants that we receive, Skill does work in a wide array of programs across the state of Kansas. All of these programs are designed and built around the idea of finding resources and tools that make it possible for individuals to remain independent in their homes. One of those programs that we offer and operate is Skill Fiscal Management Services, FMS, and we contract with the state of Kansas to do certain work, and the state pays us for doing that work. As a fiscal management service, the state has set up within it different levels of plans of care. Those plans of care are available to those individuals who have a disability based on a determination by a care coordinator, a administrator of some sort. Then that plan of care, once it's established and in place, then it is administered through someone like a fiscal management service so that those funds are delivered to the person that they're supposed to go to. We operate this through various waiver programs. This is the physical disability waiver, the frail and elderly waiver, the head injury waiver, the developmental disability waiver, Senior Care Act, Money Follows the Person. And you can learn more about those waiver programs on our website at skillonline.com. What we offer as a fiscal management service is that as those funds are passed through Skill, literally those resources are taken from the state level where they're available and delivered directly into the individuals that do the work's hands, we then administer them, which means that we will be responsible for saying that all the necessary tax and withholdings are done. And as an employer's responsibility, those same taxes are also met and obligations fulfilled. And for doing that work, that pass-through work, then we receive a service fee from the state of Kansas for doing that. There are certain things that if you're going to hire someone to work in your home that are required to happen. For example, if someone's going to work in your home, there are certain requirements you have legally to meet. For example, you have certain withholdings that have to be withheld on a regular basis, as well as there are certain liabilities that you'll need to cover, such as the workman's comp. Those are the liabilities and the regulations and responsibilities that Skill does fulfill as a fiscal agent service. You might ask, well, why can't I just do this on my own? Well, with the liability of the workman's comp, that's one of the biggest reasons that using a fiscal management service is a wise idea. As well as being able to access those benefits at the state level, there are certain technology requirements that make it necessary for that to happen. So, in addition to the state and federal grants and this fiscal management service, what else is out there that Skill does? I'd like to touch base with you on just a few of those programs. We work through an assistive technology program where we'll have an access site here in southeast Kansas as well as in south central Kansas. They'll not only receive funding on a competitive basis for delivering assistive technology, they will actually do work that is then billable based on the services they rendered to those agencies they did the work for. For example, through Voc Rehab, services where they will teach someone how to use a certain tool, things of that nature. And then for that training or assistance will be reimbursed for that service that's done. In addition to that, there's an agribility program that it connects farmers with resources. There's a Kansas Equipment Exchange, which is about refurbishing equipment and putting it back into the homes of people across the state of Kansas. Additional funding streams for the state, within the state, that Skill works through is through a program called Independent Strides Home Health. This is where we will work through insurance companies, Medicare, Medicaid, VA, and deliver in-home medical services that are needed in order for a person to remain in their own home rather than go into a institution or structure setting. And those services are delivered under a doctor's order and are medical services. In addition to that program, it has also grown now to develop into a home care program where an agency-directed service can be delivered in the home as well. This would allow workers to work in the homes under the direction of the agency rather than the individual. Some individuals who have disabilities choose not to direct those services, choose not to have that responsibility, and would like to have an agency actually do the hiring and the firing and directing of the work that needs to be done. And that can be now delivered through Skilled Home Health Program, Independent Strides, home care. Additionally, we do work through a Skill Media program. This is KSEK Radio, which is in Pittsburgh, KLKC Radio, which is in Parsons, and a retail store called Love Bubble. Ad revenue, sporting events, community activities, all those generate revenue, and then that revenue comes back into Skill to go back out into the community and fund those programs. One of the unique opportunities that has developed out of this is within the Love Bubble and the radio structure has been the employment opportunities that have opened up to Skill Resource Center. We are constantly looking at ways to develop resources and employment opportunities for individuals with disabilities, and this has been a very significant piece of that. At the heart of Skill, it's all about delivering the 5 core services that make us a Center for Independent Living. Those 5 core services are advocacy, independent skills training, information and referral, peer support, and deinstitutionalization. As funds come in and we provide those services and that work and are paid for those services and those services are rendered, then those funds that are in excess for doing that work are becoming unrestricted funds. Those unrestricted funds then can be used back within the community and the lives of the individuals that we work with. So what we do here at Skill is we work through the community. We work through the community members and those individuals that live there. We work through the staff. Many of the people that work here have significant disabilities. And connect all that together. When you put the customers and the staff and the community together, those resources become available one to another. And that makes it possible for us to be a Center for Independent Living, provide those resources, and help people remain independent and in their own homes. If you have any more questions about Skill resources and their funding, visit the Skill website at skillonline.com or call the administration office at 800-688-5616. Thank you.